I saw a person standing there, but it was clearly not a human being. This thing had a human-like shape to it and a clear place for the eyes and the nose and the mouth, but it wasn't a person.
That is part of a testimony from Jess Boiler, a deputy sheriff who encountered that entity in the Cascade Mountains in the late 1990s. I'll get more into his story in a little bit, but first, to set the stage of what that could be, I just watched a video that someone referred to me from Israeli News Live. CIA secretly requested funding to end super soldiers. Briefly, I'll say that what I'm putting forth is a compilation of news stories, people's testimonies, as well as just theories, truly in trying to figure out what is going on with the missing people in national parks. Because so many of these stories don't make sense that it seems to me like there could be a supernatural aspect to all of this. I actually have a few videos that I'll be putting out recently in a series on this topic, because the more I look into all this, the stranger things I am finding, including this message on the Freedom of Information website in 2018 to Hillary Clinton, requesting the documents pertaining to the Chamber of Gilgamesh, the location of his body, and the location of the buried Nephilim. Yes, that is a real message sent to Hillary Clinton, but that will be tied to a video I'll be putting out soon, maybe even my next video, because it is so interesting. Now, to get into the topic of this video, the CIA secretly requested funding to end Super Soldiers program. Again, this video is on Israeli News Live. I watched it a few times, and I'll give you a brief overview of this Super Soldier program that he mentions. First, he doesn't give any links to any websites referencing anything regarding to this, so I don't know if this is inside knowledge that he's getting, so pretty much we're just going off of someone's word here. But what he explains in this video is that there was a Super Soldier program in which human beings were mixed with animals in what was a voluntary program that got completely out of hand, to where these people turned into a type of hybrid creature that was dropped off in China, in Russia, and in the forests of Canada and the United States. These things are pretty much the type of being that would be referenced as a wild man or a Sasquatch or a giant, the offspring of the Nephilim. And while this theory is just that, a theory, no news sources behind it, we can look at what is actually going on in the world and see that it's not that far of a leap to imagine that that's what's going on. Here's an article, October 20th, 2022. Proof of CIA trying to create super soldier. Money trail leads to this DNA editing firm. I'll read a brief section from this article. Speculation that the Central Intelligence Agency of the USA is hoping to create enhanced humans has been sparked by the spy organization's investment in a biotechnology company. The CIA has invested in a firm which aims to resurrect extinct animals. Colossal Biosciences is actively working to bring mammoths back to life. The company also wants to bring back the thylacine and the dodo bird. Colossal is working on resurrecting these dead animals through DNA editing. If the project succeeds, the resulting animal will not be an authentic mammoth, but an elephant with key mammoth-like features. The article goes on to list multiple DNA genetic manipulation companies that the CIA has been investing in. That company, Colossal, plans to genetically bring back to life a woolly mammoth by the year 2027. Now, why, of course, would they want to do this? Well, they want to find and bring back the Nephilim bloodlines to create the mighty men of old, told to us in Genesis 6:4. We know in the last days there are multiple entities that come upon the earth, men's hearts failing them for things that are coming upon the earth, and in the very last days of Revelation there is entities and things all over the place. This could very well be tied to what is going on here. We know, of course, that giants existed because the Bible tells us so, as well as pretty much every ancient culture on the earth has depictions and stories of giants passed down or painted in cave paintings, and the Smithsonian themselves have been covering up this truth for years. Now, why would the Smithsonian cover that up? Well, because it goes against the theory of evolution that they teach all throughout the world. It would prove the Bible really to be true, bring a lot more validity to it, as well as when they get these very highly sought after bones from the giants, the offspring of the Nephilim, you can be sure that they're selling them to high up people in high levels of prominence within governments and religious organizations around the world, including some of these companies that are probably trying to extract the DNA to bring them back to life. A great Instagram page, if you use Instagram, is Giants of Ancient America, where they document hundreds, at this point over 1,000 news clippings from around the world of old news clippings of the discovery of giant bones. Here's one from Egypt, 1988, 60 giants discovered ranging from 8 feet to 11 feet tall. Another one from Russia, 1901, talking about a giant skeleton discovered nearly 10 feet in height. In another article from 1922 from Indiana, referencing a skeleton of huge proportions, well over 6 feet in height. So we know these giant beings existed, the Nephilim and their offspring. We can pretty much say beyond a shadow of a doubt, in my opinion at least, that people are seeing something in the woods around the world. We don't know what it is. And also, in my opinion again, these people going missing in national parks without a trace seem to have some sort of supernatural connection to their disappearance. And this giant slash super soldier slash entity of some sort could be responsible, and that's the angle I'm looking at here. And you can't talk about missing people in national parks without mentioning Missing 411 and the work of David Paulides. If it weren't for him and his work, this subject wouldn't even be on the map for 99.9% of us. I'll link to David Paulides' YouTube channel in the description below. Lots of good information there. I recommend you check it out, as well as he just released a documentary, and I highly recommend that as well. It was very good. I also in this video don't want to talk about any specific case of a missing person, but we know at this point there's hundreds and hundreds of cases of these people who just seemingly disappear, and I want to point out a few of these characteristics. Many times these disappearances are happening in geographical clusters, near bodies of water, near granite. Now some of the strangest characteristics are sometimes these people are found in areas that have been searched multiple times, as well as the canine units that are used often become confused, can't find a scent, or the scents just disappear. Same with tracks. When the person is being tracked, the tracks often just disappear. Another one that gets me too is many of these people go missing in areas they've been hiking or hunting in their entire life. I know myself personally, I have my spots that I've hiked and I've hunted my entire life, and there is a 0% chance that I would ever get lost there. Now to get back to the opening clip of this video, the story of Jess Boiler, a deputy sheriff who encountered some sort of entity in the woods in the Cascade Mountains in the late 1990s. As you heard in the opening clip, he walked upon some sort of entity that was staring at him in the woods. When he pulled his gun on it, it fled at a speed that he said was completely impossible for a human being. He actually went after it to try and find it, and after getting spooked and having to turn around before it got dark, the thing followed him all the way out, and he felt as if the thing was about to grab him and take him away. I'll play a few more of these clips from that story. This video will also be linked in the description below.
I was so curious that I had to check it out. I carried on walking for a while, but I was feeling a little nervous. It was darker than it should be for me to get back to the car before dark, and I didn't have a flashlight. The idea that I couldn't see him, but he could see me, made me very uncomfortable. That's just a prescription for an ambush. That's when I heard a second snap. He wasn't just watching me or running away from me. He was tracking me. I was convinced that I was going to die, and that I was going to die in a very bad way. When I finally saw my car, I was hearing snaps, and as I got real close to the car, they stopped entirely. I remember now thinking, those snaps have stopped because he's right behind me and he's going to grab me.
Is this what's going on in our national parks? Is there some sort of entity that's lived on from the Genesis 6.4 era? Is it something that even our own government or the governments around the world have been gene splicing and creating and releasing into the woods as referenced in that super soldier video? Or is there some other supernatural phenomenon going on that is tied to the UFO phenomenon or some other thing, maybe involving portals or something? We don't know. It's all theories right now. But I think an increase in paranormal activity could very well be what's taking place. Of the veil of the evil realm is becoming weaker or starting to break through more as we head into the last days and the soon second coming of the Lord Jesus Christ. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and God bless.